Southern Colorado saw an abundance of growth this last year. We also saw growth in the projects being done to accommodate it.
As we continue our special reports on the state of our growth, Allison Zimmerman has a recap of the projects making room for our growing population.
Really, how do we manage those people?
More people moved into Colorado this year, specifically Southern Colorado. And if the numbers don't tell that story enough, the cones, new jobs, and changes in scenery around Southern Colorado just might.
Nevertheless, it's very important in that it's foundational. Space capability is foundational to everything we do in warfighting.
Colorado Springs gained national attention as President Trump announced the newly created Space Force would be temporarily headquartered at Peterson Air Force Base. The Space Force will run under the umbrella of the Air Force and will eventually conduct space military defense, making the Space Force another branch of the U.S. military. 2019 marked a big year of growth for projects in Colorado. City leaders broke ground on the Switchbacks Downtown Stadium, one of a few projects for the City of Champions. That stadium situated next to another project set to open in 2020, the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum.
I think that in combination with the museum, this downtown stadium will really be an epicenter of our downtown's future. And I'm very much excited about it.
El Paso County also preparing for more visitors with the influx of people moving here. Construction continued this year on the Pikes Peak Summit House, even working through the winter to get the project completed on our area's iconic peak by 2021. Other construction projects not getting as much of a warm welcome for Southern Colorado drivers. The GAP project still underway between Monument and Castle Rock with speed limits reduced. The area is a high priority for CDOT. Some in Southern Colorado say the added toll lane is not what they wanted to see with tax dollars.
The state, for some reason, doesn't do a very good job of saying, if you give us the money, this is exactly what we'll do with it.
It's not the only project on our roads. 2C tax projects continued through 2019, reaching goals taxpayers and voters seem to agree with, as they voted to continue the tax past its initial 5-year limit in this year's election. Colorado Springs also approved a debrucing measure to keep Tabor refunds and have that additional revenue go towards parks projects.
As far as I'm concerned, we're at full capacity.
But all of these people and all of the money has brought its own growing pains. In many jails across the state, sheriffs and county commissioners have expressed concerns over jail overcrowding and how to tackle that. The legislature passed some bills in hopes of addressing it as well. But in Pueblo, they hoped voters would approve money to build a new jail. Instead, voters rejected the measure, but they did approve a marijuana tax where money collected could go towards that project.
It's been an emotional time.
2019 also brought renewed concerns over Pueblo's homeless population and having a place to shelter them during the cold months. After moving out of its temporary shelter in May, by the time the cold returned, the permanent shelter wasn't finished, and City Council allowed for the temporary shelter to come back. That permanent shelter is expected to open in mid-January.
This is what landscape scale conservation looks like.
Our growth also brought some excitement for outdoor enthusiasts in Southern Colorado. Fisher's Peak, now set to become a state park. If all goes to plan, the public will have access to the peak by 2021.